What's up, nerds? So I watched Ahsoka episode 5, and I'm going to get into my breakdown very shortly, but I just want to say this episode was fine. I think that they hyped it too much and put it in theaters, and I was like, what? I was like, people wasted their time to go to the movie theater to see this. Like I said, it was just okay. But I want to get into my breakdown and review and everything, and then I'll give you my thoughts during and afterwards. All right, here we go. Cindula and Jason investigate Ahsoka's disappearance. Jason uses his connection to the Force to sense that Ahsoka is in the world between worlds. Okay, first off, this kid that plays Jason is a terrible actor. I'll tell you that. He's all like, do you feel that? And I sense something. And me, I'm all like, is it your career going nowhere? Because then I feel it. I feel it too. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't know why Jason isn't more Twi'lek like his mother, because you remember, I mean, they said his hair is green because his mom's skin is green, but I'm like, I don't think that's how genetics work. His mom is a whole nother species. So I'm so confused on this whole thing. Because if you remember I believe it's in Bad Batch, they go to rescue an old clone and he's married a Twi'lek. And they have these kids, and they have the Liku. So I don't understand why Jason doesn't have the Liku, and he's more human than anything. The math isn't mathing on this one. Ahsoka speaks with Anakin, who has kept watch over his former apprentice through the Force, and believes that her loss to Skoll is partially due to her unresolved guilt over the events that drove them apart. Ahsoka faces Anakin in a duel, but gets overconfident and loses. Again, this lightsaber battle just seemed too clunky and choppy to me. I'm sorry, but Rosario Dawson, even though I like her as an actress, she's just not the greatest fighter when it comes to these lightsaber duels. I feel like with some more practice, she could have been better. But maybe they didn't have enough time. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with their lives and everything. Hayden Christensen was fine. You know, he did his regular old Hayden Christian self as Anakin, but people are freaking out that Anakin is on this show. And me, I'm all like, why are you guys freaking out? We just saw him in what was it, 7 months ago in the Obi-Wan series, which was also terrible. So I don't know why everybody's nut hugging over Anakin Skywalker. I don't get it. I really don't. She then turns back into her teenage self and accompanies Anakin through her memories of the Clone Wars, including the Siege of Mandalore. Ahsoka remains defiant and refuses to heed Anakin's teaching not to be held back by her past, resulting in her failing to prevent him from falling to the dark side of the Force. Okay, I'm not going to lie. All this Clone Wars stuff that takes place in her little memory was very good. I enjoyed it immensely. I wish they would have done more of it in this episode because it was pretty good. I enjoyed seeing Ahsoka Tano as a younger version of herself. The actress that played her, what was it? Was a something Greenblatt? I can't remember. She did a decent job as Ahsoka Tano. You know, it was nice. Her lightsaber skills and her fighting abilities are far superior to Rosario Dawson, in my opinion. Maybe it's because she's younger. Maybe because she had more time to practice. I don't know, but it was just better. I mean, I really enjoyed her action sequences way more than I did when Rosario Dawson was lightsaber fighting. I have to say, it was a little bit of the AliExpress version of the Clone Wars, just because it was for the first part, it was mostly just foggy haze and then just clone soldiers running and shooting and then flying into the air and everything. So, I mean, there was that. But the Siege of Mandalore, that was fun. I really liked that, even though we only got 2 seconds of Mandalorians dying. I don't understand why people are freaking out over Rex in this episode, because again, this was just an AliExpress version of Rex. I mean, it was just Tameo Morrison's voice saying one line come on, kid, or some crap like that, which Tameo Morrison probably recorded in an hour in a hotel room somewhere. And then it was just because it was just his armor. And I was like, it was kind of cool, but it would, if he took his helmet off and he had the bald head and the beard and everything, then I would have been impressed, but it was not. I was like, okay, great. But I have to admit that this was the only part of the episode that I really liked. I actually liked it. It was cool to see Anakin in his clone armor. That was pretty fun. In his Clone Wars armor, that was pretty fun. But other than that, I mean, yeah, and I'll get to all my thoughts on the rest of this later. Pitted against her master in another duel, Ahsoka finally accepts that she is not responsible for his downfall, and Anakin vanishes. Also, I saw some people freaking out and being all like, yay, when Anakin was turning back and forth from Anakin Skywalker to Vader. And this was nothing special, in my opinion, you guys. It didn't give me goosebumps and all that bullshit. It was just fine, it was fine. I did like the part where Ahsoka, she like throws Anakin Skywalker off of the bridge, the water bridge. And then she's all like, I choose to live. I thought that line was delivered very well. And as always, I mean, I do enjoy Rosario Dawson as an actress. She's good. So she delivered that line very good. It's just the lightsaber battle was like, I mean, it was not that. I mean, I probably could learn that shit in a half hour. You know what I'm saying? Telling her that she is ready before she returns to Satos and is rescued by Syndulla's forces. I also did like the shot where she was underneath the water and she's like rising up, kind of like she's been baptized, in the Force or whatever you want to say. But I thought that was it was a good looking shot. I did enjoy that shot. Syndulla is contacted by Mon Mothma. The Chancellor informs her that the New Republic ships are en route to take her and Ahsoka into custody for their actions. It was nice to see that there are ramifications for their actions, even though I thought Hera did the right thing by going after her friends, and going against the orders and stuff. There has to be some kind of punishment for that, and I'm glad that this show does have at least the talk of ramifications for that, because we get a lot of that these days, Star Trek, where people do bad stuff and they go against orders and then there's no ramifications for their actions. And I'm glad that there is at least some discussion about being punished, I'm bad, Hera. Learning of Sabine's whereabouts through the Force, Ahsoka departs with Huyang and summons a pod of Purgle who know where Ezra is. And it was kind of nice to see, Ahsoka the White, everybody calls her, but at the same time, we saw that at the end of Rebels, and I don't understand why people are freaking out about it now. I mean, maybe because it's live action, I guess, whatever. She could have been Ahsoka the White from the get-go. I mean, we really didn't get any, reasoning really, because it was more like, talk, not show, and everything of why she wasn't Ahsoka the White from the get-go, but it's fine, whatever, it's fine. Also, we all knew she was going to take a Purgle to get to that other galaxy to find Ezra. I mean, I've said it like, I think twice in a couple of previous videos, so I mean, good for you, Filoni, for meeting our expectations instead of subverting them. That's nice. That's a nice change. They enter a Purgle's mouth to evade her pursuers and follow Elsbeth and Skoll. Well, at least they got in the Purgle's mouth instead of like, attaching itself to its back. That's what I thought they were going to do, which would have been so stupid. I guess, they just had to like Jonah that shit, or, Pinocchio or Finding Nemo, whatever story you want to reference. Cindula and Jason remaining behind. And that's the end of the episode, you guys. Again, Hera being left behind, surprise. I have to say that this episode was fine. It was better than the last episode, in my opinion, but just because of that Clone Wars stuff. Take away the Clone Wars stuff and the younger Ahsoka Tano, and this episode wasn't that great, in my opinion. It was too slow. So, because nothing, I mean, other than that Clone Wars stuff, nothing really happened, you guys. Nothing really happened. I think that it's really, I just don't care about this story, or what happens. It's not thrilling. It's not exciting. I'm just trying to figure out exactly like why I care. I don't understand the Filoni nut huggers that like what do you owe him? You don't owe him anything, because this shit is not that good. It's not that good, but it's fine at best. Like I'm saying, like when I watched this episode, I was like, well, that Clone Wars stuff was cool. So, I mean, like, what? We got a good 15 minutes that were cool, and the rest was just, I was all like, it's poorly paced. The action isn't thrilling. The story kind of sucks. I mean, I don't even care if they find Ezra at this point. I literally don't care. I mean, where can we go from here? We have 3 episodes left, and I have a feeling we won't see Thrawn or Ezra in the next episode. I have a really good feeling about that. And I bet we see them. I bet we see them at the end of episode 7. And then we see them in episode 8, but there's no resolution. And that will lead into that probably shitty Filoni movie. Like, if you like it, I've always said this because I just go, I'm jealous if you like it, but I don't understand how. I really don't. I'm grasping at how people can watch this and just at the end go, yes. Because like I said before, the Clone Wars stuff, when I was watching that, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is pretty good. I like it. And then it just went back to Cindula and her shitty acting son and the world between worlds part. And I'm like, I'm sorry, this lightsaber fight sucks. So, and everybody's all like, well, she's old. So you think Liam Neeson was a spring chicken in episode 1? No. And that fucker was fighting all sorts of shit. So I don't want to hear it. It's not great. It's this episode was mediocre. Like I said, better than the last episode, but I mean, whatever. Yeah, those are my thoughts on this episode. I have no hope for the next episode, but if it's good, I will say it's good. But this episode wasn't that great. I'm sorry. And if you saw it in theaters, good on you for wasting your gas to go see that shit. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to end it there. But I don't know. No hope. Okay. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you like this show, tell me why you like this show, because I'm really trying hard to like it and to figure out why people like it. I mean, just because it's live action Clone Wars characters, like, so I don't know. All right, you guys. As always, if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm. Small channels like mine, we just keep getting pushed to the back of the line. Also, don't forget to leave all of your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Ahsoka breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. May the Force be with you. Bye.